Introversion gets a bad rap in our extroverted world. We often view introverts as shy, awkward, anxious, or even depressed. But could introverts have found the secret to happiness that eludes many extroverts? While extroverts seek fulfillment through social interaction and external stimulation, introverts thrive on inner peace, depth of thought, and quality alone time. Studies show introverts are often content and satisfied with life rather than feeling lonely or sad. So what gives introverts their underlying sense of joy and well-being despite living in a culture that celebrates extroversion? Here are some main reasons introverts tend to be happy people. The power of solitude. One of the prime sources of happiness for introverts is solitude. While extroverts recharge their batteries through social interaction, introverts recharge through time alone. For introverts, solitude isn't loneliness. It's an opportunity for restoration and reinvigoration. In those precious moments of solitude, introverts are free to engage fully in inward reflection, creative thought, relaxation, and stress relief without the mental drain of socializing. Recent research has explored the benefits of solitude. One study from the University of Chicago found that spending just 6 to 15 minutes alone, without any external input or conversations, led to increased happiness, focus, and problem-solving skills. Being alone allows our inward focus to broaden beyond the present moment, envisioning creative ideas and solutions. It's a chance for the introverted mind to explore its inner depths without distraction. Time alone also provides stress relief for introverts. After intensive social interaction, solitude is like hitting the reset button to recover emotionally and mentally. It reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and lowers heart rate or blood pressure. Without solitude, built-up stress will eventually lead to mental or emotional burnout for many introverts. But recharging prevents energy depletion, so they feel happier, healthier, and more balanced overall. Introverts deeply value their solitary contemplation, artistic pursuits, reading, writing, and hobbies that nourish the inner world. Taking time daily for personal solitude and growth makes introverts fulfilled despite living in an extroverted culture. Indeed, the happiest introverts unapologetically guard their precious alone time as a top priority rather than feeling obligated to over-socialize to please others. Solitude allows introverts to experience deep contentment from within. Contentment from within. Another reason introverts tend to be happy is their disposition towards internal contentment rather than relying on external factors for happiness and fulfillment. Introverts find deep satisfaction in inner peace, emotions, values, and growth, not in fleeting pleasures, status, possessions, or other people's opinions. Because introverts have rich inner worlds, they don't need as much external stimulation to be content. They aren't constantly seeking thrills, excitement, or social interaction to validate themselves. This makes them naturally resilient since their well-being isn't dependent on unstable external factors. Life's ups and downs don't threaten their core internal equilibrium and joy as much. Research studies this inner resilience. One found that introverts are significantly less likely to describe themselves as dependent on approval from others to feel worthwhile. Because introverts find worth from within rather than without, they exhibit greater life satisfaction across all situations regardless of outer circumstances. Another discovered that while introverts and extroverts experience pleasant emotions, introverts tend to feel more positively about their deeper self and feel less self-conscious when alone. This inner focus makes sense evolutionarily. As primarily cognitive or contemplative types, introverts are inclined to spend more time engaged in thought versus action. So they are adept at mentally detaching from problems, enduring difficult situations patiently, and not over-identifying with fleeting thoughts or emotions. Over generations, this facilitated greater equilibrium and inner peace for the tribe despite life's hardships. This personality trait enhanced tribal survival. Introverts innately know how to maintain internal stability and equilibrium, which leads to contentment. Meaningful connections. Alongside solitude, another source of happiness for introverts is developing meaningful one-on-one social connections, romance, and community, despite needing less socializing overall. While extroverts can feel drained by too much solitude, introverts are energized by quality alone time and quality time socially interacting intimately with select people they care about and trust. Introverts tend to have strong bonds with a small, tight-knit group of close friends and family they feel truly seen and accepted by. These special relationships' depth, trust, and intimacy far outweigh any desire for superficial socializing or status. Indeed, studies find that developing close emotional ties increases life satisfaction more than casual acquaintances or being socially well-connected. Romantic partnerships also contribute greatly to introverts' joy and fulfillment since relationships allow for closeness, trust, and affectionate quality time together while respecting each other's needs for solitude. Many happily coupled introverts feel utterly content with their partner's alone time for social interaction rather than wider social events. And introverts tend to invest enormous care, loyalty, and commitment into these cherished relationships. A sense of community belonging, whether locally within neighborhoods or virtually within interests, also enhances happiness. Somewhere introverts feel understood and accepted as they are without the expectation to over-socialize. Indeed, research connects greater life satisfaction with civic participation and strong community bonds. So while avoiding large parties, introverts find meaning in their carefully chosen friendships, partnerships, and communities. It reaffirms their worth and lets them deeply connect safely without draining them. Power of authentic self-expression. Introverts have high levels of self-awareness and are in tune with their authentic values, emotions, talents, needs, and preferences. Anthropologists suggest this may stem from introverts' tendency towards reflection, observation, and contemplation throughout human evolution, which granted perspective on the self. This taps into a deep life satisfaction because introverts can recognize if any situation enhances or depletes well-being or authentic expression. While extroverts thrive on external stimulation and social opportunities, introverts innately know the few causes they deeply care about, outlets for creativity, and how to spend time authentically fulfilling inner purpose. They embrace their true selves without feeling the need to conform. Introverts happily engage in low-key hobbies, careers, and communities perfectly aligned with their authentic needs and strengths. Not conforming to achieve status or superficial societal norms frees introverts to design lives according to self-knowledge, and research links doing so with elevated happiness. Authentic expression brings confidence from within rather than seeking affirmation through extroversion. Introverts feel complete, dedicating energy to inner qualities and talents in smaller circles where uniqueness isn't stifled for superficialities. Pursuing authentic paths aligns with happiness studies, showing enjoying major activities daily leads to greater fulfillment than material goods. Introverts find euphoria in authentically nourishing soul and purpose, not fleeting externals. Reflective optimism. Research has found that optimistic people experience higher well-being and life satisfaction than pessimists. Interestingly, introverts seem naturally inclined towards a more adaptive, reflective type of optimism without ignoring realities or problems. While extroverts may exhibit optimism through enthusiastic motivation, social buoyancy, and denial, introverts' optimism stems from reflection, contemplation, and acknowledgement of complexities. Their inward perspective allows realistic optimism by acknowledging problems factually but believing they have the power or skills or community to handle what comes, a self-fulfilling prophecy boosting resilience during inevitable life difficulties. Introverts process adversities mentally before acting decisively or reaching out for aid. This reflects an ability to contain distress until logical solutions arise without being overwhelmed by anxieties alone. Their patience, perspective, calm consideration of options, and ability to pragmatically handle fear of unknown outcomes without catastrophizing lead to realistic solutions, ensuring realistic optimism. If you found insight on introvert bliss, tap that like icon below. And don't forget to subscribe for more on living well as your unique self. Whether extrovert or introvert, we all seek joy. May you find yours on your path of thoughtful, peaceful living. Subscribe to keep discovering.